All right, I'm going to work through the first page on the back, so that's questions 7 through 13. So number 7 says, a rectangle has a length of 12 meters, right? It says meters, and a width of 400 centimeters. First step, whenever you talk about rectangles, draw yourself a picture, okay? So 12 meters, 400 centimeters. The first thing I see is that I have two different units, and I'm not going to be able to do anything with that until they're the same. Okay, let's keep reading. What is the perimeter? Well, what's perimeter? Remember, perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or if you think in your head, all the sides added up. And then we want it in centimeters, okay? So my issue is this meters is not in centimeters, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of unit conversion. So 12 meters, right? If you were in my class, remember the bridge, and I need this to be meters, okay? Well, I need to think of a conversion. Well, I know that 1 meter has 100 centimeters, and then I have the unit I want, centimeters, okay? My meters cancel. We multiply across the bridge, divide under the bridge. So that says 12 times 100 divided by 1 gives me 1,200 centimeters. So I can change this 12 meters to 1,200 centimeters, and then I can use my formula, okay? So perimeter equals 2 times my length, which is 1,200, plus 2 times my width, which is 400. Plug that in, and I get 3,200, and we're talking centimeters. So D. If you don't convert to the right unit, you're going to end up with one of these trick answers. You got to make sure that all your units are the same before you move on. All right, number 8. Jill swam 200 meters in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. If each lap is 50 meters long, okay, so think of a pool, and each lap down the pool is 50 meters, which is most likely to be her time in seconds per lap, okay? Well, we're talking about seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to convert this 2 minutes and 42 seconds to just seconds. Well, I know 2 minutes is 60 seconds. Or I know there's 60 seconds in 2 minutes. So 2 minutes times 60 seconds. And then I'm going to add that 42. So I know this is 162 seconds. Okay? And then I got to figure out, well, how many we want per 1 lap. So how many laps is in 200 meters? Well, if I go down, that's 50. If I go back, that's another 50. And I go down again, that's 50 more. And back one more time. That gives me 200 meters. But that's also 4 laps. Okay? So now I want to find out how many seconds per lap. So let's take our 162 and divide that by 4. And that gives me 40.5. So which one is most likely? B would be your most likely option. That's the closest to 40. Number 9, which expression is the coefficient of term n, -1? We gotta remember what coefficient means, right? Coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So let's go find all the n's. Not the n squared, it's just the n's. Okay, so we're looking at all of these values. Well, this one's a 4, so that's not an option because we're looking for -1. This one's a 5, so that's not an option. This one looks to be a -1, and this is a +1. So C would be my option, process of elimination. Number 10. The expression s squared is used to calculate the area of the square. So we're talking about the square, and we're talking about all the space inside. Where s is the side length of the square. So all 4 sides are length s. Okay. What does the expression ax squared represent? Okay. So let's compare s squared to 8x squared. Okay. Compare the two. What's similar? Well, they both have squareds. But this is s squared, and this looks like the s has been changed to an 8x. Okay, so if I made this s an 8x, and I were to plug that into my little area formula, if I were to plug this straight in here, well, surely I would get 8x squared. So my side length we've determined is 8x. A says a side length of 8. That's not an option. B says the area of a square with a side length of 16. That's not what we got. The area of a square with a side length of 4x. D is our option. The area of a square with a side length of 8x. And that's what we determined. All right, number 11. What is the product of 7x minus 4 and 8x plus 5? Well, what is product? Product is the answer to a multiplication. So it's telling me to multiply, okay? So 7x minus 4 and 8x plus 5. Well, in my head, I see one binomial, 2 terms, times another binomial. And I know a really nice organized way to do a binomial times a binomial is the box method. So 7x minus 4, 8x plus 5. And I'm going to multiply kind of like a Punnett square in science. So 8x times 7x is 56x squared. Sorry, that's a little squished. Okay. 8x times negative 4 is negative 32x. 7x times 5 is 35x. And negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Okay. I also see that I have like terms. All right, so 56x squared, nothing's combined with that. 35 minus that 32x would give me a positive 3x, and then my minus 20. Let's compare our answers to these answers. Make sure you're checking your signs, and it looks like C would be the correct option. All right, number 12. A model of a house is shown below. Okay, so we have, this is 6x minus 4. 12x, looks like 12x plus 3, and 14x plus 13. All right, what is the perimeter? Again, similar to this one, perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W, but the perimeter just in general is the distance around an object, all these sides. Well, looks like these little hash marks tell me that if this is 6x minus 4, this is 6x minus 4. And if this is 12x plus 3, then this is 12x plus 3. So perimeter says to add up all of the sides. Doesn't matter how many there are. So I'm going to do 6x minus 4. I have 2 of those. A 12x plus 3. I have 2 of those. And then I have a 14x plus 13. And I'm going to add all these up. So here we go. 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 12 plus 14 gives me 50x. A negative 4 plus a negative 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 13 gives me a positive 11. So let's compare our work to down here, and it looks like C matches our work. Okay. All right, which expression below, number 13, has the same value as the expression? So we are subtracting 2 trinomials, 3 terms, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they look to be their quadratic, x squared. When I see the minus sign, okay, that tells me I'm going to change it to a plus. The first part doesn't change. I'm going to change the minus to a plus, and then I'm going to kind of distribute that negative to all 3 terms, which is going to end up changing the signs. So that becomes a minus 5x squared, a plus 3x, and a minus 2. Now I'm just going to combine my like terms. I have an x squared and an x squared. I have a 2x and a 3x, and a negative 6 and a negative 2. So 8x squared minus 5x squared is 3x squared. 2x plus 3x is 5x, and negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8. Comparing our work to our answer choices, it looks like B would be our option.